The Miami Heat were disappointing last year. They ended up being a first-round exit in kind of blowout fashion against the one-seeded Boston Celtics. 1 year off their 2023 finals run as an 8 seed. And did this team get a lot better this offseason? I'm not really sure. They lost Caleb Martin to a rival in the Eastern Conference in the 76ers. They did draft Kel'el Ware, but this team is still relatively the same to their 2024 squad. That was disappointing. And for today's Heat rebuild, we're going to have a twist. If I don't make it to at least game 6 of round number 2 with this squad, I have to let Jimmy Butler walk in free agency and get nothing in return for him. So that means no trade this season, no sign and trade in the offseason, not even extending him. I have to let him walk if we can't even prove that we can be a contending team in the Eastern Conference towards the end of his career. So yeah, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? They did pick up Alec Burks on a veteran minimum. I don't mind that whatsoever. They re-signed Hayward Highsmith, and they drafted Kel'el Ware with the 15th overall pick, and I didn't really love that at the time, but he is definitely the best center they've had in the Bam Adebayo era. And there could be some fun two-man games with Bam and Kel'el Ware out there in the front court. I like the way that they've been developing Nikola Jovic. He should have a nice year 3 for them. Jaime Jaquez was great in his rookie season last year, but he's already 23 years old. You have Pele Larson and Keyshawn Johnson, a couple former Arizona Wildcats. You still have Hero, Rozier, Duncan Robinson. Some good shooters in the backcourt, not good defenders at all, but all of them will be under contract through the season. So yeah, Jimmy Butler could opt in, and if he opts in, I'm just going to release him for nothing. So that's going to hurt even more. So Bam is under contract. He just re-signed with the Heat this offseason. Took a little bit of a pay cut as well. Tower Hero could be on the block. We'll see if him and Bam still the future of this team. It's definitely Bam. Not sure if it's Hero. This could be Rozier's last year. This could be Robinson's last year. And we have to realize we don't own some of our first-round picks going forward. So the Heat's first-round pick in 2025, lottery protected. We make the playoffs. We don't get our first-round pick. That's going to the Thunder. We get our first-round pick in 2026, but in 2027, that is lottery protected to the Charlotte Hornets. And if we are in the lottery, it goes to the Hornets in 2028 from the Terry Rozier trade. And the Heat didn't trade for Donovan Mitchell. They didn't trade for Damian Lillard, so they still have some of their first-round picks, but some of them are still outgoing. We start up the year with an L against the Detroit Pistons. Through the first month of the season, though, we are 11-8. I'll take that. 3 games above 500. We're the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. Our offense hasn't looked great. We actually have a bottom 6 offense, in the East. I can't speak. But defense, though, we are not really great either. Wow, we should probably not be 11-8. I mean, it's a smaller sample size, but we have a negative point differential right now. Tower Hero is leading this team in scoring. Jimmy Butler's taking a little bit of a step back. Honestly, with that production, he's probably should opt into that $48 million player option. Jaime Jaquez, though, is off to a rough start this season, something we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on. So we're here at the trade deadline. We're 25-27. We're pretty much going to be on par finishing, I guess, the season around 500. We are currently the 19 in the Eastern Conference. The Hawks are there as the 5th seed. The Hornets are there as the 3 seed. Offensively, we are 7th in the East. Defensively, we're bottom 5, which is kind of weird for this team, just anchored by Bam Adebayo. You really wouldn't expect that, and I think we're overachieving a little bit with this team, which is sad to say because we're 2 games under 500. I do think Tower Hero is playing well enough to maybe get me a first-round pick back in the offseason. Maybe 2. We'll see if we decide to move on from him. Like I said, this could be Jimmy's last year if I can't make it to round 2 and at least game number 6, show that we can have a competitive roster around him, or he's leaving. And I'm going to try to make one trade here. It's with the Philadelphia 76ers. I want to see if I can get a really late, I think, first rounder in a couple years between the Rockets and the Clippers. JaVale McGee, just to make the money work, for Alec Burks and a second rounder, and they say no, they would want 2 seconds, but they'll give me 1. Sure, we'll do this deal. So I'm netting a first round pick for Alec Burks. I'm definitely going to take that. So am I kind of waving the white flag? Potentially with this team. I don't think I'm going to move Hero or Rozier at the deadline. I think those are going to be more off-season moves. And for the rest of the season, this is the lineup I'm going to experiment with. It's going to be with Hero and Butler in the backcourt, Hawkins at the 3, Jovic at the 4, Bam at the 5, with Rozier, Robinson, Ware, and Highsmith off the bench. Hopefully that helps out the team a little bit defensively. We're 3.5 star pace and space under Eric Spoelstra, and we'll see how the end of this season ends up. But this could be a very unfortunate ending to Jimmy Butler's Miami Heat career. And we're going to lose Bam Adebayo for 4 to 6 weeks. Oh, this is brutal. He went down when we were 32-33, and Giannis Antetokounmpo wins his 3rd MVP award here in 2025. He won it in 2019 and in 2020. Zachary Reese-Shea takes home the Rookie of the Year award. Russell Westbrook is your 6th Man of the Year. Victor Wembanyama Depoy, Most Improved, goes to Jalen Johnson, and Trae Young, Clutch Player of the Year. So the Hawks got 3 awards in Clutch Player of the Year, Most Improved, and Rookie of the Year. All-NBA first team, you have Giannis, Wemby, Sabonis, Luka, and Trae. Tatum, Ja, who is injured, Halliburton, Tyrese, and LeBron and Embiid. Why'd I say Tyrese or Hallie and Tyrese? That didn't make any sense whatsoever. So we didn't get any Miami Heat here on the All-NBA teams. We don't even get Kel'el Ware on an All-Rookie team. And the Miami Heat finished the regular season as the 10th seed. So we need some magic. We need some 2020, some 2023 magic to be able to keep Jimmy Butler. We ended up finishing 41-41. So like I said, we were probably going to finish right around 500. We finished at 500. We were the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, or 6th in scoring. Our defense was really disappointing this year. We had the 4th worst defense. We had a negative point differential. Tyler Hero ended up being our leading scorer. Jaime Jaquez was better in the second half, but still kind of disappointing from his rookie season. Rozier, we're probably going to look to move in the offseason. And like, we're going to have Bam as the anchor of this team. We'll see if Jimmy can go on some type of run in the playoffs. And Khalil Ware definitely showed plenty of flashes in his rookie season. I may even start him at the power forward spot next year. And let's see if we can beat the Detroit Pistons here in the play-in tournament. And if we lose fully healthy to the Pistons in the first leg of the play-in, Jimmy's gone, man. He would not want to re-sign with us. So are we going to be able to pull off the upset as a 10th seed? It's looking like it. Or are we going to choke it in the 4th? We end up winning 124-115. Jimmy puts up 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 11 assists in 36 minutes. And we're taking on the Hornets here in the second leg of the play-in tournament, a Southeast Division team. Pretty good on paper. They fell off a little bit back after the first month. They were like the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. We have a competitive first half against our division rival, and they go on a run in the third quarter. They're up by 16. So luckily our pick is lottery protected, which maybe I'm rooting to lose this game. Is it going to happen? We're down by 11, 5 minutes to go. Can we go on a run? Still down by 11, down by 18, and that is it. The Miami Heat lose 125-110. Jaime Jaquez puts up 23 points. Jimmy only took 11 shots. Bam went 8 for 20 from the field. Hero 5 for 14, 2 for 8 from 3. And we lost in the play-in tournament. Shai's your Western Conference Finals MVP. Tatum in the East. And the Thunder beat the Celtics 7 games in the NBA Finals. Could definitely be what the finals are going to look like in 2025. LeBron retires. Kyle Lowry retires. Al Horford retires. Eric Gordon. A couple Heat in JaVale McGee and Kevin Love. And LeBron heads to the Hall of Fame. We are going to retire his jersey number. And it is draft lottery time. Like I said, our pick is lottery protected. So that is nice that we're going to be able to get it in what's going to be a new era. Oh my God, Miami Heat basketball. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my God. Thank you for beating me in the play-in tournament, Charlotte. We jumped up to the 4th overall pick. Wow. That is crazy. We're gonna get a tier 1 or tier 2 player in this loaded 2025 draft. This changes almost everything. So I'm still going to honor the Jimmy Butler thing. We're going to let him walk. Maybe this is going to be similar to like Anthony Davis, Pelicans 2019. Even though they traded him, they were already doing that, and they still ended up getting the number 1 pick to get Zion. That is crazy, though. So we're here the night of the draft. I think we're going to enter into like a soft rebuild where I'm going to look to move Rozier. I may even look to move Hero. So I'm going to see if the Clippers would do this trade. They may lose James Harden. So I'm going to see if I can swap Terry Rozier for former Miami Heat, Derrick Jones Jr., who spent the 2019 and 20 seasons there. He's coming off a nice year for the Clippers, and I'd be getting a 2nd round pick in return. So we're going to be doing that, saving some money as well, and we're getting another wing. Just no team was giving me draft capital for Rozier. So we basically traded that 1st round pick next year, lottery protected, or 2 years from now, for Derrick Jones Jr., which honestly, with his defensive play in this most recent playoffs, could definitely be worth it. I want to see if the Charlotte Hornets would do this trade. Could I move Tyler Hero for 3 rotational pieces? They would put Hero in between LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. We'd be getting Grant Williams, Nick Richards, and Josh Green. I'm just going to throw this out there. They say no. They would want that first, which I wouldn't be opposed to doing. Now, I don't really love taking on Grant Williams' contract. I would definitely do Richards and Green. Could I maybe get a 1st round pick down the line? Like, could I get your lottery protected 1st rounder next year instead of Grant Williams? Then I'd feel a little bit more comfortable doing that deal. They say no. I don't love trading Pele Larson, but if it gets it done, I would do this trade. They say no. They would. Okay, so they're valuing that 1st round pick a ton, and I'm not moving Derrick Jones Jr. Could I get maybe my Heat 1st round pick back? I would do this. Would they do that? They would want a... Okay, I would throw in the 2nd, but I'm not giving you Khalil Ware. All right, I don't really want to give up a 1st in this deal, because I don't really love Grant Williams. I'd rather just hold on to Hero. So I think we're not going to make a Hero trade before the draft. 1st overall pick, the Mavericks are trading it. Oh my God, what are they giving up, or what are they getting for him? Lauri Markkanen and Jeremy Grant. All right, I didn't mean that. Lauri Markkanen with Luka is actually kind of sick, and Kyrie. And then Cooper Flagg, if they do take him in Utah, is also kind of sick, and that's what they end up doing. So I actually like that for both teams. Somehow the Cavs were bad, and they take Mackenzie Ibaka. That's like the 2nd time I've seen this happen. Why? Ace Bailey's on the board, and 3, Ace Bailey to the Raptors. So I think this is going to be easy for me. I'm going to take Nolan Traore, the point guard out of France. We moved on from Rozier this offseason to be our franchise point guard in the post-Jimmy Butler era. And it's probably the best Miami Heat point guard, definitely since Goran Dragic. And then honestly, what his potential, it's probably the best Miami Heat point guard. I'm trying to even think of when. Yeah, it's probably Dragic and then Tim Hardaway Sr. because of the potential of Traore, which is huge, man. That was so lucky to move up in the lottery. This pick is getting traded, the 6th overall pick for Miles Bridges. All right, so yeah, Miles Bridges to no Essendon. I mean, it's not going to help them right now, but it will in the future. And the second round, I'm getting Carter Knox out of Kentucky. I think he's someone that could definitely go in the first round. That's a huge pick for us. Or he's going to Arkansas, my bad. He is transferring because Calipari is now the Arkansas coach. So we're going to sign Nolan and we're going to sign Carter Knox there. It's Carter with a K. Jimmy Butler opts out, and we are going to have to let him walk, unfortunately. Duncan Robinson's contract is not fully guaranteed, so I'm going to let him walk, but I would actually like to re-sign him. Jaquez and Jovic are obviously no-brainers, so it is an end of an era of Miami Heat basketball. Jimmy Butler will be leaving us in free agency. Where is he going to sign? Doesn't have a real offer yet. So Duncan Robinson, we're actually going to save some money here. I'm going to give him a 2-year deal worth around $6 million a year. We're going to have $25 million with cap space next year, and we can still be a big free agency destination team. Hero, we can move his $33 million and have a max contract next year. I mean, I could look to pivot if I wanted a Kelly Oubre, Corey Kispert, not a bad idea either. I would love throwing a lot of money at Trey Murphy. I feel like Brandon Ingram should really make it a free agency sometimes in this game, but I feel like he doesn't. I mean, looking at our depth chart next year, it's going to be Nolan Traore. I'm probably going to sign a backup point guard. We'll have Hero, Knox. We have Jaquez Jr., there's Jones Jr., Jovic, Highsmith, Bam, and Ware. So yeah, when we sign a 3rd string point guard and a 3rd string center, I'm going to throw a 1-year deal at Jose Alvarado and a 1-year deal at Mason Plumlee. So our pick is unprotected next year, so the Thunder could get a nice first rounder from us. But let's hope that this team is at least a playing tournament team. I don't mind losing the 13th pick in the 2026 draft. As long as whatever my pick is in Cam Boozer or AJ Devanta or Darren Peterson, I'm okay with it. Keyshawn Johnson wants $4 million a year. I'm not giving him that. Wow, what have I done? Jimmy Butler signs with our division rival, the Orlando Magic, which is kind of crazy. 1 year, $30 million. I don't know how they were able to afford that, unless they were able to move KCP kind of recently. So yeah, they're paying Franz all this money. I guess Powell being on that contract, yeah, it looks like they did end up moving KCP in some type of trade, and they actually made a trade exception for it. So they used that money to absorb Jimmy Butler. That is insane. Player progression here, Bam is now our highest overall, and then you have Hero, who could definitely be a trade deadline guy. If not, I'll probably move him next offseason. Hopefully big year from Jaime Jaquez and Nikola Jovic. All right, so it's going to be a 9-man rotation to start off the year. It's going to be Jovic, Robinson, Ware, and Highsmith off the bench, but Jovic is still going to play a ton of minutes. Nolan Traore is going to get 32 minutes a night. We'll do 33 to Hero, 33 to Jaquez. We'll do 31 to Derrick Jones Jr. and 35 to Bam. System proficiency is going to be 3.5 star pace and space. First game in the post-Jimmy Butler era, we ended up beating the New Orleans Pelicans 111-101. Khalil Ware had 19 points off the bench. Bam with 21 and 17. 14 assists for Nolan, even though he did shoot 3 for 14 from the field. Game number 2, we ended up losing to the Trailblazers by 2. I do feel happy. I mean, getting Nolan Traore, it's better than getting maybe kind of a mid-wing that we would have gone with the 12th overall pick. I mean, I would have been happy with Drake Powell or Ian Jackson, but it doesn't have, I think, the same pedigree as Nolan Traore for the point guard position, because I had no idea who my point guard was going to be for the future. We did beat the Warriors here. Tyler Hero had 28, 4, and 7. Just build up that trade value, please. We do start off the year 2 and 3, though, but I would also like to win games since I don't own my first round pick. Brutal stuff here, man. Oh my God. Khalil Ware, lower right leg stress fracture. He's going to be out 2 to 4 months, which is a wide range of that return, which it could be whenever. I honestly should flirt with him as a power forward when he comes back, but that is going to hurt a little bit. I guess it's Mason Plumlee time. But hey, we're 13 and 12 in our first 25 games. I will take that for sure. Hero's averaging 20 points. Bam, 19. Nolan Traore is averaging 15.7 points, 8.7 assists. Rookie guards are going to be inefficient, but at least he's putting up some production. Nikola Jovic is breaking out for us as well in a contract year for him at the end of the year. Jaime, I need the efficiency to be a little bit better, but I like where this team is headed. And we're going to lose Derrick Jones Jr. for 2 to 4 weeks. Broken ribs. He was having a good year, not hitting threes whatsoever, but providing good defense and efficient scoring within the 3-point line. So we are here at the trade deadline. We are 21 and 30, which is going to put us as the 13th seed in the Eastern Conference. Unfortunately, we don't have our first round pick, and I don't really know if we have any player on this roster that could get me back my first round pick. I mean, maybe it would be Derrick Jones Jr. Now, I'm not sure who 2K currently has owning my first round pick right now. It should be the Thunder. For some reason, it's the Grizzlies. Well, maybe they ended up trading for it. So I think the one guy that I think could net me back would be Derrick Jones Jr. because of his elite defensive ability. I mean, yeah, the stars are equal, but I got to get some salary coming back. Jonas Valanciunas, Marcus Smart. I mean, I'd have to pay Valanciunas next year as well. Oh, they have some money. So I would have to take on John Konchar's $12 million guaranteed after this season, which isn't too bad unless it's descending. No, it's just $6 million after this year. I will take that if that means I can get my first round pick back this year, where I'm okay bottoming out. I know like Derrick Jones Jr. is really good, but I think I can afford losing him if that's going to mean I can add another young piece to this team. So we're going to offer this to Memphis. It's going to hurt losing Derrick Jones Jr., but I don't want to move Hawkins. I don't want to move Khalil Ware. I don't want to move Jovic. I'm not getting that return for Haywood Highsmith right now, nor is it Duncan Robinson, and I don't really think we can make this a larger package with Tower Hero. So let's just offer this to them. They're probably going to decline it. They do. Would I also throw in that Rockets first round swap? Maybe. It looks like it actually doesn't have the worst value right now. The most I could really do is 2 seconds. And if they don't even counter, we're in a tough spot. They do like Duncan Robinson, who I'd also include to get this pick back, but I would have to take on a little bit of money here. I don't know who can help that get done. Maybe it's Jake Laravia and 2 seconds. So let's offer this to the Grizzlies, and they counter it. They want that first, which I'd prefer not to give up. I can take on Jonas Valanciunas' bad money next year. They would say no. They want yeah. All right. So I'd have to give up my 2029 first. Would I move my 2029 first to get my 2025 first back? I would. I probably would, right? Like, I plan on being good in 2029. We could use that pick right now. Let's do it. Let's offer this to them. And they say no, really. I mean, I don't want to move Duncan Robinson and the 29 first. I feel like that's a lot. The 2 seconds don't get it done. Wow. That hurts. And I can't move the 28 pick because that's a protection backup from the Hornets water protected pick from the Rozier trade. So you're telling me I have to move maybe Alvarado, take on Valanciunas' bad money next year. I'm helping you out a ton. Yeah, what? Wow. They are not helping me out whatsoever in this trade. They won't do this? Damn. They want Duncan Robinson, and they'll give me their first. Okay, now we might be talking. So they'll give me their first round pick. I'm getting my first rounder back this year. I got to take on $16 million of bad money next year, unfortunately, and I got to move Alvarado, which is fine. But I got to move Robinson, 2029 first when we should be good, and Derrick Jones Jr. To be honest with you, I probably should do this trade, and we're going to do that with Memphis. So we could bottom out this year, and we can look to add one of these top guys in the 2026 draft. So I'm going to probably keep playing Khalil Ware at the power forward position. We're going to keep with this like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Carter Knox is going to get more minutes. We'll probably give some to Pele Larson. I was going to try to move Haywood Highsmith just because he's not really been great. So maybe I'm going to play Valanciunas those minutes, and we'll see if we can move Haywood Highsmith to maybe get a first rounder for him because he could play good defense and he could shoot the 3 a little bit. He's shooting 40% from 3. And nobody seems like they want to give me a first round pick. I mean, Keyshawn George could be nice, take a flyer on him, but I don't know if we want to develop him and like Carter Knox. That's asking for a lot right now. I mean, I would dig Beauchamp at a first, but I'm not giving up my 28 first. All right, I'm going to do this trade with the Sacramento Kings. Haywood Highsmith to Mason Plumlee for Kevin Huerter. I would probably look to re-sign him in the offseason and could maybe replace the Duncan Robinson role. So yeah, I'm going to look to re-sign Kevin Huerter right now. It's going to be 1 year, $5 million. And Nikola Jokic tops Giannis from last year and gets his 4th MVP. Now, Cooper Flagg, Rookie of the Year, the #1 pick. Josh Giddey is your 6th man of the year. Wemby's your DPOY. Rob Dillingham, Most Improved. Wemby is your Clutch Player of the Year, taking on multiple awards. And are we going to see any Miami Heat on these All-NBA teams? Paolo with Jimmy is on All-NBA second team. We do see Nolan Traore on All-Rookie first team. The efficiency did get better in the second half of the season. That's the progression we like to see as well. And the Miami Heat did not make the play-in tournament, which is good. The Orlando Magic were the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference with Jimmy Butler. Looks like they're starting with the 3. Franz at the 2. That is insane size with that Magic team. We ended up finishing 33-49, which is going to put us as the 4th worst record in the NBA, or 5th worst record, excuse me. And both the Rockets and the Clippers were bad. So I may actually get another top 10 pick from that Alec Burks trade. I have no idea how the Rockets were this bad this season, or even the Clippers with Kawhi and like Rozier. Like, I'm surprised they didn't at least become like the 10th seed in the West. Jaime Jaquez, another semi-inefficient year. I'm not going to read too much into it. Hopefully he is good next year. If not, then we'll maybe make a move. Tower Hero should be on the move this offseason. Nikola Jovic progressed this year, which I like to see. Good 3-point shooter. Huerter will be coming back. Good 3-point shooter as well. I may look to move on from Valanciunas this offseason. We'll see. Khalil Ware, I like what I saw from him also. Even Carter Knox was somewhat efficient on this team. And Nikola Jokic wins Western Conference Finals MVP and Paolo Banchero Eastern Conference Finals MVP. So that means Jimmy Butler is playing in the NBA Finals, having a great season. Wow, with the Magic. Great numbers in the regular season. Great numbers in the playoffs. Hey, I'm rooting for him to get his first ring, and that is not going to happen as they lose to the Nuggets in 6. And for the second time in Jimmy's career, he loses to the Nuggets and Jokic in 6 games in the NBA Finals. You see Russell Westbrook retire. There goes Alec Burks. Wow, that is maybe a Pat Riley fleecing. First one in a while, getting a first rounder for him. Trade has definitely worked out for us. So we own our first round pick, and we own that swap as well. So we'll see where that pick ends up. We have the 5th projected pick. We got lucky last year. We don't get lucky this year as we dropped to 7. I thought I was supposed to get one of these first round picks, but maybe I am wrong. I thought I was supposed to get that 2026 first rounder. Maybe it's protected, so maybe the Rockets portion of it was protected. Therefore, I don't have to give it up. So I do have my pick at 7. I feel like I should be here again. I was off by a year. That's on me. It was for the 2026 draft, which should be this one, but it's really 2027 since we're back a year. Okay, so that's for next year. Watch that pick end up being in the 20s. It would have been great if it was this year. And we are going to send Tower Hero to the Utah Jazz in exchange for Cody Williams, who's coming off year number 2, and the Cavs first rounder in this draft. It's for Tower Hero's expiring deal, which is going to end a long career, 7 years in Miami for Tower Hero. He's going to go to the Utah Jazz. And we just picked up the 18th pick in this draft as well. Now I have a chance to build a different backcourt, and maybe that does involve Cody Williams next to Nolan. But we'll see if he's going to be the guy there. Maybe he's a 3. We have, I think, good wings with high upside. And I'm going to send Jonas Valanciunas to the Denver Nuggets in exchange for Zeke Naji, who hasn't been good, but it's going to save me around $2.5 million. And the first pick in the 2026 draft, the Houston Rockets are going to get AJ Debinsa. Yeah, that's a home run pick. The Rockets are also picking number 2 as well, and they get Jacob Wilkins. You could have took Cam Boozer. He's going to go to the Thunder. Good thing we are in the East and not the West. There goes Cameron's brother, Caden, at 4 to Chicago. And the Thunder with the pick ahead of us. Oh my God, I should have traded up for him. I should have traded up for Darren Peterson. Can I make a draft night trade? I think that could be an elite backcourt. Thunder, don't do this to me. Man, it's going to be tough to trade him outside this draft, so I got to do it right now, and I can't trade him unless it's in the trade finder. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to figure out a way to get him. Damn, I should have realized that he didn't go, and I should have traded up. That's like potentially a generational guy I could have gotten. I'm also going to try to make a draft night trade as well. Can I move Zeke Naji, John Conchar, 18, and I will give you that swap with the Clippers next year. So 2 firsts and some salary filler for Herb Jones, who's making $14 million, but that's the guy I kind of want next to Nolan in that backcourt, and they are going to agree to that. Let's go. And I'm between Caleb Wilson or Koa Pete here with our first round pick. I could take Bryson Tiller. He's a little bit older. Haven't really had too much luck with him. So I'm actually going to go, I'm going to go Caleb Wilson here with this pick. It would have been nice to get Darren Peterson, but it makes it a little bit better now that we have Herb Jones. So let's sign Caleb Wilson. He is a 77 overall. Yeah, AJ top guy. Cameron Boozer there as well. Darren Peterson, I think will be in that top tier of guys come the 2026 draft. We're going to pick up the team options on everybody here. Pele Larson, he's 24. I actually may try to save that money because we should have a little bit of money to spend in free agency. We do want to bring back Nikola Jovic. Do we bring back Jimmy Butler? No, I'm kidding. Do I want Cam Thomas? Not really. I mean, looking at this team, we're going to have to work out a new extension with Herb Jones. We do have some money. Do I have to spend it next year? I mean, Herb Jones, I'm going to have to re-sign. Hawkins, I'm going to have to re-sign. I mean, this would be the offseason to spend it. I just don't really know who I'm going to go after. I mean, Paolo would be great, but he's restricted. They're coming off a finals appearance. I'm not getting Kevin Durant. I'm not getting Jalen Williams. I mean, do I want Jonathan Kuminga? Do I want to give him $30 million a year? Not really. Shaedon Sharpe would be interesting, but I may just try to wrap out like the bench and get some really good role players. Like I may look at, I mean, Cody Williams could be a small forward. I may look to get Lou Dort. I may look to get an upgrade at the 4. Like, could I convince Tari Eason to come here? I feel like he could be a perfect Miami Heat. We'll see if they match that. 4 years, $60 million for Eason. They don't match that. Let's go. So we're going to pick him up on that. I'm going to re-sign Jovic. 3 years, $26 million for Jovic. I'm going to get Lou Dort. 3 years, $40 million for the Dortcher Chamber. And this team has some really good defenders, some good tradable contracts. We're all still kind of in the same age timeline for most of the core because I'm trying to get Bam a ring in his prime, and I hope Nolan, even though he's 20 and Cody being 21, can help him do so as a supporting cast. Could I make one more splash? Can I get Trey Murphy? Why not? Let's have like an elite wing core. Let's go, man. So our wing core, I mean, I don't think Kevin Huerter is making the rotation. We have Herb Jones, Lou Dort, Cody Williams, Jaime Jaquez, Trey Murphy, Nikola Jovic. I'm a big fan of this team next year. We have a deep roster. So player progression here, Bam is a 90 overall. We have an 83 to Jaime Jaquez, an 83 to Nolan Troyar. Herb Jones regresses a little bit. He could be moved to a small forward position. All right, so this is going to be the starting 5. I think Eason's going to start over Jovic. He's going to be off the bench, but he probably won't even be the 6th man. I think that's going to be Trey Murphy. We're going to have Lou Dort as the defensive specialist. I want Cody Williams playing a decent amount of minutes. I'd like to give run to our top 10 pick as well, but then we got Khalil Ware to play, so maybe he's not going to crack the rotation. Maybe he's going to have like similar to like a Jarris Walker rookie year. But man, there's some 2-man lineups of Herb Jones and Lou Dort out there on the perimeter defensively, which is going to be so much fun. For the start of the year, I will send Caleb Wilson to the G League. We are 3.5-star pace and space. First game of the year is against the Chicago Bulls. Can we start off the season with a dub? Yes, we can. We beat them by 29. I really like this team right now. All right, so we are at the trade deadline, and this could be our first year as a playoff team. We are currently the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, tied with the Pistons, with a 33-19 record. Points per game, we are currently 3rd at 118.6. Defense, though, is legit. We could see the additions of Lou Dort out there and just having a really good defensive team right now. And Herb Jones, obviously, we have a 6.8 point differential. We've really turned this defense around, and I think we built a really good roster around Bam Adebayo, who is our leading scorer. He's in the prime of his career, 92 overall, averaging a double-double, 4 assists a night, 55% from the field, 33% from 3. Nolan has been way better in his second year, 49% from the field, 38% from 3. Jaime Jaquez breakout year incoming, 18 points, 3.7 rebounds, 3 assists, great efficiency. That is what I am talking about. Herder stepped in great when Lou Dort was out for a couple games. Trey Murphy, really good scorer for us off the bench. Tari Eason putting in the hustle numbers, and I think he's taking a little bit of a load off of Nikola Jovic, who's a nice bench scorer for us. And I don't think I'm going to make any moves here at the deadline, because if an injury does happen, we have the depth to withstand it. Oh man, as we were building up for our playoff push, Nolan Traore tears his right MCL, and he is out for the season on the last game of the year as well. Luka wins his first MVP. We ended up going 51-31. But does it matter? And I kind of constructed this team without like a true backup point guard as well. So we're going to have to take our second best playmaker, probably put him at the 1. Oh man, that hurts so much. Yeah, like Craig Porter Jr. is here. I may have Jaquez run the point. Herb Jones, I don't really feel comfortable about that. Tari Eason, point forward now. I mean, yeah, looking at everybody here, we don't really have a true backup point guard, so I'm not going to go with Herder. I think we're going to have it be Jaime Jaquez as the point guard. And this is what our playoff rotation is going to look like. We're probably going to insert Lou Dort in there for some defense. Stick with the 9-man rotation. Khalil Ware, Cody Williams can get 18 minutes. We're going to go 20 to Jovic. We can go 27 to Trey Murphy, a couple more to Bam. This is what we're going to rock with for the playoffs, but that sucks so much. We ended up as the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. We're taking on the Boston Celtics in round number 1. They have Chris Paul as their starting point guard. Zubac's coming off the bench. Drew Holiday is hurt. That just sucks, man. We're going to replace 18 points and 9 assists. He was by far the best playmaker on this team. Should I just put Bam at the point guard position, right? Can we beat the Boston Celtics in round number 1? We do win game number 1 by 7. Bam, 25-10. Jaquez as the starting point guard had 9 assists, but shot 3 for 18 from the field. You know what? If we're going to win by 7 in a game which Jaquez and Jones, our backcourt, went 6 for 28, I will take that. Lou Dort sprains his right foot. He might be out for the series. Great. Do I stick with the 8-man rotation? I don't think I'm going to play Caleb Wilson. I think we're going to have to give Kevin Huerter some minutes. And Cody Williams may get like 6-man minutes. Game number 2 goes to Boston. They ended up winning by 1 point. Jaquez had 28, only 2 assists in this one, but he is showing up. Game number 3, we end up winning this one 115-108. Derek White had 37 in that L, but Trey Murphy had 34. Bam had 17 rebounds. 5 assists for Jaquez, Cody Williams, and Tari Eason. We do drop game 4 though. Tatum with 44 points. Jaquez shot 2 for 11 and 1 of 10 for 3. Lou Dort, day-to-day, but I'm not going to bring him back until he's fully healthy, as we just won by 10. Jaquez, 34, 6, and 7. This dude is showing out in round number 1. Khalil Ware with 25 points off the bench. And we are going to get a healthy Lou Dort back for game 7, but I'm going to have Dort be the 6th man. Trey Murphy is going to keep starting for us. We do lose game 6 by 10. Bam with 31, Jaquez with 22, Jovic with 20. Game 7 of round 1, Heat Celtics. These teams have played multiple times in the 2020s here in the playoffs. Can the Heat get this one and kind of avenge that 2024 round 1 season in which they just lost to the Celtics in 5? We are up by 13 with 5.5 to go. Our defense is showing up in this 4th quarter. Wow, there was a great stretch where they didn't score whatsoever. Trey Murphy finished with 27 points. Jaquez with 17. Jovic with 26 off the bench. And we advance. There goes Cody Williams for 1 to 2 weeks. We are getting destroyed here with injuries in the playoffs. We're taking on the Toronto Raptors with Quickly, Barrett, Bruce Brown, Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl, Grady Dick, Corey Kispert, Jacoby Walter, all off the bench. Game 1 goes to the Toronto Raptors by 10. Jaquez had 32 and 7. Herb Jones had 24, but Barnes had 35. Game 2 goes to the Toronto Raptors, 135-127. This isn't looking good. Game 3 goes to the Miami Heat. We end up winning 130-119. Jaquez with 31. Bam with 24. 15 and 12 for Tari Eason. Game number 4 goes to the Toronto Raptors. 146-139. Damn, we lose an OT. So now we need them to blow a 3-1 lead. We end up winning game 5. We blow them out 144-115. Bam with 39 and 13. There we go, Bam. Him and Jaquez just combined for 70 points. Game 6, we ended up losing 121 123. All right, now this is telling me I need to add a better backup point guard in the offseason. And wow, Trey Murphy 2 for 14 from 3. He was still good though. He was in the playoffs. It just sucks that we got sent home in round number 2. But we didn't have our starting point guard. Cody was banged up. Luka Doncic and Scotty Barnes are your conference finals MVPs. And the Mavs win in 5, which means Luka, who just averaged an unreal finals performance, got MVP and finals MVP in the same season. So there goes Mike Conley, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic, and Jimmy Butler, who just got a ring. Wait, oh my God, I didn't even know he signed with the Dallas Mavericks. Well, that's sick. Jimmy ended up getting a ring in this video and went back-to-back finals with the Magic and the Mavericks. James Harden headed to the Hall of Fame. I'm sure Jimmy would go to the Hall of Fame as well. We do own our first-round pick here in the 2026 draft, as the Grizzlies have the #1 pick. And we do own our pick at 26. The Pelicans pick at 21 is from the Woodor trade that we gave them. All right, I want to see if I can make a trade with the LA Lakers, and it's going to cost me my top 10 pick of last year, Caleb Wilson. But we have, wow, they really value him. Maybe I can get a first out of this. But we have Tari Eason, we have Nikola Jovic, we have a bunch of guys that can play the 4. We're going to have to pay a bunch of guys this offseason as well. So I'm looking to get a good backup point guard defensively and offensively, and that's going to be Dyson Daniels. I want to see if I can maybe get a future first rounder and Dyson Daniels for Caleb Wilson, who they value highly. Let's see if they'll do this. No, what about just Daniels straight up for Wilson? No? Okay, wow. That's interesting. When he's 3.5 stars, Daniels is 3 stars. I would also give you pick 26 as well, and they say yes to that. So we're going to pick up the team option on Nolan Troyer, Cody Williams, and Kalel Ware. We are going to have some guys to re-sign. Like I said, Carter Knox being one, but the big one is Jaime Jaquez. And also Herb Jones as well, who we should get bird rights on. Perfect. I'm going to give him about 4 years, $60 million guaranteed. For depth purposes, I'll bring back Kevin Huerter on a 1-year deal, and we're going to make sure to pay Jaime Jaquez a decent amount after moratorium as we get both Herb and Huerter back. And we're going to get Jaquez on a nice deal, hopefully. Wow, now he takes a deal from the Cavs. It was going to be 4 years, like $72 million, 3 years, $60 million. Not too bad. Also going to try to sign a third-string point guard. Jason Preston, maybe. Bones Highland. I just don't really like the efficiency there. I'll give Tyler Kolek a 1-year deal. We're probably going to lose Carter Knox here in free agency. And yeah, we get Tyler Kolek there. Let me see if I can bring back Knox. He wants $15 million a year. Okay, well, that's not happening. Going to give Zaire Williams a 1-year deal as well. And same thing to Dwapari, who we should get on the last day of free agency. There we go. Here's player progression. Hopefully, we are fully healthy for the playoffs. We have the depth to withstand any wing injuries. Now we could withstand a Nolan injury because we have Dyson Daniels. But yeah, if any of the wings go down, we have so many good ones. We actually have to release somebody before the season starts. That's going to be Zaire Williams. So we're adding Dyson Daniels into the mix. Like, this team has so much depth right now. It's going to be Nolan Troyer and Bam Adebayo playing the most minutes. And then it's going to be Murphy, Williams, Dort, Daniels, Ware, Jovic, all off the bench. Like, these guys, yeah, are all going to get a decent amount of minutes. Obviously, if an injury happens, we're going to give more minutes to other guys and allocate it a little bit differently. 4-star pace and space. Hopefully, this team can win a championship this year. Not off to a good start, getting blown out by the Pistons. I mean, we do have the depth and the contracts to make a big move at the deadline. If we want to do something like that, we'll see though. All right, so we're here at the trade deadline, 23 and 29. I had hopes of winning a championship this year, and we have been very disappointing in the Eastern Conference. Our offense is 6th worst in the East, which is weird. Our defense is also not where it was last year, which is kind of interesting. I know we have a lot of depth, which is nice if any injuries do happen, but I think I'm going to look to use some of that depth to make a big move at this deadline. And I'm going to make this trade at the deadline. The Knicks are looking to go in a different direction with some of their veterans and maybe take a little bit of a step back. We're going to be sending them Dyson Daniels. He just hasn't really worked out here. Good defender, but I just don't think he's a plus offensively whatsoever. Lou Dort, we're also going to move to the Knicks. He'll have a larger role there. And Cody Williams, who's probably the prime piece going to New York. We're going to be getting Mikal Bridges, who's a nice upgrade over Dort. And I think Cody Williams. We get the offensive Cody, the defensive Dort, and Mikal. And then we're getting Dante DiVincenzo, who's an elite 3-point shooter, good defender, but can also, I think, be a good backup point guard for us as well. So we're going to make that trade with the New York Knicks. And I also think Mikal Bridges could start over Herb Jones now as well. He's eligible, so let's just bring Bam Adebayo back on a 3-year massive extension. And we can re-sign Kalel Ware now 3 years, about $30 million. We are currently the 19th in the Eastern Conference, 28 and 32. I'm hoping we can go on a run towards the end of the year. We have been pretty solid since the All-Star break. We did have an injury just happen. DiVincenzo got hurt for a little bit, but he's back. No one's been dealing with a lower back bruise, but I think we have our core ready to go for a nice playoff run. And Luka Doncic wins MVP with Mo Dunleavy being the #1 overall pick as your Rookie of the Year. Isaiah Evans, 6th Man of the Year. Wemby Depoy. Evans gets Most Improved as well. Luka Clutch Player of the Year. And Billy Donovan Coach of the Year. No awards really for the Miami Heat, as we did have a nice end to the year. We finished as the 4th seed in the East. We're going to be taking on the Philadelphia 76ers in round number 1. Paul George has regressed, and the team around Embiid and Maxey is definitely beatable, as Nolan and Bam both finished with 18.1 points per game. So unfortunately, Chloe Ware will be banged up throughout the first couple of the games for the playoffs. So, like, Dwight Reed's going to get, like, 7 minutes a night as the backup 5. We're going to be relying a lot on Bam and Nolan. We also finished the season with the 4th best record at 47-35. We finished as a top 10 offense. We finished as the best defense. Wow, the defense turnaround, 2nd best point differential. It seems wide open outside of the Chicago Bulls as we blow out the Sixers by 25 in game 1. Bridges goes off against the team that drafted him. Game number 2 goes to Philadelphia, 106-96. Game number 3, we end up winning this one, 121-99. Nolan Traore, 29 points, 13 assists. He's getting his first playoff run with us. Chloe Ware back fully healthy. Let's go. Game number 4, we end up winning this one, 118-116. It was a close one, but we got it done. And can we win in 5? Yes, we can. We end up beating them 114-104. We outscored them 41-19 in that 4th quarter. We move on to round number 2 to take on the Chicago Bulls, who have a great team of Boozer, White, Buzelis, Pat Will. Wait, really? This is their team. I mean, it's good, but I feel like it's definitely beatable. Game 1 goes to the Chicago Bulls. They beat us by 26. Okay. Game number 2 goes to the Chicago Bulls. We lost by 4 in overtime. Might have to make some roster adjustments right now. Game number 3 goes to the Miami Heat. There we go. Nolan Traore has 20 points and 12 assists. Game number 4 goes to the Miami Heat. Boom. We win 2 unanswered. That is huge, winning both in Miami. Game 5 goes to the Heat. Let's go. We just won 3 in a row. Can we win game number 6? DiVincenzo's hurt. You gotta be kidding me. And we lost game 6 by a lot. We scored 83 points. And here we go. Game 7. Okay, Bam is fully healthy. That scared me. I thought he was hurt. Let's see if we can win this on the road in Chicago. Let's do this. All right, we have a solid first quarter. They go on a little run there in the second, as we are currently down 69-61. Don't let them... Oh, man, I just don't want to get blown out. Was Dante DiVincenzo really the backbone? We're down by 15. Oh, my God. What the hell just happened, man? All right, well, I guess DiVincenzo getting hurt really screwed us, as we are going to end up losing to the Chicago Bulls in Game 7. We actually made it look better than it was. We ended up losing by 6, but it felt like we got blown out this one. Chet Holmgren, your Western Conference Finals MVP, and Scotty Barnes in the East, and the Thunder win it all, with Shea being your Finals MVP. Chris Paul ends up retiring. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond Green all retire. Andrew Wiggins, Yusuf Nurkic, Clint Capella on to another year. KD, Curry, and Paul all head to the Hall of Fame. We don't get our first round pick. It's going to go to the Hornets at 22 from the Terry Rozier trade. Eric Spoelstra's contract is up, but we are going to be bringing him back as our head coach. We're going to try to see if Cleveland will do this trade, and they will. Evan Mobley's stock kind of went down a little bit throughout the course of this rebuild, and we are going to, like coming off the season where he averaged 12 points and 8.5 rebounds, but we're going to hope to turn his career around. Yeah, he's been pretty bad the last 2 years offensively, but we know what him and Bam can be defensively in that front court. I love the idea of having Mobley and Bam. We did have to move Mikal Bridges and Tari Eason to get him, but I'm okay with that. We also have a mid-level exception as well. I'm going to see if I can get Jacoby Walter with it in free agency, and we do just that. We also are able to bring back Kevin Huerter. We're going to get Lonzo Ball and hopefully Brandon Clark on minimum contracts just to be third stringers at their positions. Unfortunately, Brandon Clark decides to sign with the Pacers though. So he was a Heat at one point. I'm going to get back Zeke Naji. So hopefully this big addition of Evan Mobley makes our defense elite once again. We'll see how a lineup of Nolan Traore at the 1. We're going to have DiVincenzo at the 2, Hawkes at the 3, and then you're going to have Herb Jones, Murphy, Ware, and Walter, and Jovic all off the bench. Final week of the year. This just happens too often. Jaime Hawkes, lower left leg stress fracture, is out for the year. Final game of the season as well. We ended up going 62-20, but there's always going to be a dark cloud over it because now we have a Jaime Hawkes injury. We were the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. This feels like it is our year. It's just losing my starting small forward will hurt. It's not the end of the world. I'd rather it be him than it be Bam or Nolan Traore, or potentially Evan Mobley as well. But that just sucks to see. Hawkes wasn't very efficient throughout the regular season, but he has shown that he has performed well in the playoffs. We finished as the 4th best offensive team, and we finished as the best defensive team with the best rating differential. And we're going to be taking on the New York Knicks in round number 1 with Jalen Brunson, Cody Williams, former Miami Heat, OG Anunoby, KJ Martin. Dyson Daniels will be coming off the bench for that team. And Jacoby Walter's really good. We got Nikola Jovic. We're okay without Jaime Hawkes. It just still sucks to lose him. We do win game number 1 against the Knicks by 21 points. DiVincenzo, drops 21 against his former team, and we take a 2-0 lead. We end up beating them 123-106. Game number 3 is going to go to the New York Knicks. They end up getting a win here at MSG. Hopefully, we're able to win game 4. Trey Murphy shot 2 for 12 in that game. We do end up winning game number 4, 131-122. And here we go, game number 5. That is going to go to the Miami Heat, 112-99. Evan Mobley with 28, 18, and 6. Nolan Traore had 14 assists as Bam Adebayo High right ankle sprain. He's out for the year. We're taking on the Detroit Pistons in round number 2. God, man, this has been a brutal rebuild. Well, Kalower, it's your time to shine. You were horrible in the playoffs in round 1. You haven't really been that good since year number 2, so maybe something will turn around. I could start Mobley at the 5. God, Zeke Najee's going to get like 8 minutes tonight as the backup center. We got Nikola Jovic going to get like 20 minutes. I think same to Jacoby Walter. There's Herb Jones. We'll do about 30 to Ware. 34 to Mobley, maybe 29 to Ware. We'll make sure we're playing Nolan Trey or a ton of minutes as well. System proficiency is 4-star pace and space. Can we still beat the Pistons and advance? Game number 1, we do end up winning with no Bam Adebayo. Evan Mobley with 39 and 15. Nolan Traore had 18 assists. Game number 2 goes to the Miami Heat, 130-121. All right, Kalower, please prove me wrong. Please. Game 3 goes to the Miami Heat, 120-108. And without Bam Adebayo or Jaime Hawkins, we are 1 game away. Wow, that is an insane stat line from the conference finals, though. But Evan Mobley had 27, 12, 9, 2, and 4. Okay. And then can we sweep them? Yes, we do. Kalower cut on the head. He is fine. And we're going to be taking on the Raptors here in the conference finals. Evan Mobley went off. Nolan Traore went off. And Kalower was good as a starter. So can we beat the Toronto Raptors with IQ, Ace Bailey? They brought back Kawhi Leonard. They have Scotty Barnes, who I tried trading for last offseason when I traded for Mobley, but we couldn't get it done. We beat him by 17 in game 1. 17 assists for Nolan Traore, 17 points for Herb Jones and Dante DiVincenzo. They end up winning game 2, though, by 18. Ace Bailey at 41 and 10. Game 3 goes to the Raptors, 128-108. Ian Jackson drops 30. Don't go down 3-1. Okay, we tied up 2-2. We win 123-117. Mobley and DiVincenzo getting it done. Can we win game 5? No, we can't. Damn, we lose 118-106. Here we go. Game 6. It's going to be on the road, too, in Toronto. And wow, Kalower had a migraine as well. He got a cut on his head. He's got a migraine. His head has been all over the place over the last couple series. We're down by 14 here in the third. Oh my God, we're down by 24. I can't win it with this team. I can't. Oh my God, that is brutal, man. That is brutal. And we lose in 6. And you have a Raptors-Spurs finals. Kawhi Leonard against his former team, and they lose. Wemby gets finals MVP. I can't believe. I mean, I guess I can't believe it. I mean, I lost Hawkes. I lost Bam Adebayo. It's just brutal, man. It really is. Sometimes you can win them all. Sometimes you can't. And I failed this rebuild in my opinion. Let me know if you guys enjoy that, where it's unpredictable if I'm going to win a finals by the end of the video. And if you guys did enjoy this, I'd appreciate it if you drop a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.